Hello, class 12th student. Today again I am going to start chapter 7. Topic is aggregate demand and related concept. This is part 7. Before this video, I had explained you about what do you mean by aggregate demand, what do you mean by aggregate supply, component of AD, component of AS. Okay, so in component of AD, I had tell you that in two sector economy aggregate demand is sum total of consumption and investment. Okay, yani it is related to total expenditure of household sector and private sector on purchase of final goods and services. Okay, now if we talk about aggregate supply, so in aggregate supply is sum total of C plus S. Okay, so and this aggregate supply is stand for national income, that we can write also income. Okay student, so whenever any person of are you talk about the economy, so income is always used in two way. It is consumed or it is saved. Okay, when we are going to expend our money on the purchase of goods and services, then it is known as a consumption expenditure. Okay student, and the part that we don't expend on purchase of goods and services, we keep with its own self, that is considered as a saving. Why we save money? So that we can fulfill our future requirement. Okay, or any emergency like any accident or any immediate expenditure that we don't know, sometime it is foreseen, sometime it is unforeseen, like your future expenditure on higher school, higher classes, marriage. So these are what foreseen expenditure, for that your family members save money. But there are sometimes they maybe there will be some medical issue or there will be some accident, so again you require money. So for that also your guardian and all the people of a country save money. So in this way, whenever we have money, we get income. Yeah, all the people of any economy, they get the income, they expend majority of it and they save a part of it, that is known as a saving. So in this way, income is sum total of consumption expenditure and saving. Okay student, here we are going to discuss about types of saving function are propensity to save. Okay, so what is saving function? So in the previous video I had told you what do you mean by saving function. Okay student, saving function is a functional relationship between saving and income. How we explain saving function? So saving function yani saving is the function of income, yani saving is the function of income, yani saving of any economy depend upon income, and between them we find positive relation. If income is going to increase, it means saving is also going to be increase. Okay, so this is what it is, saving function, or it is also known as a propensity to save. Okay, there are two types of propensity to save or saving function. First is average propensity to save, in short we know APS, and second one is marginal propensity to save, that is known as a MPS. So today video topic is APC and MPS. Okay, so APS, average propensity to save. What do you mean by average propensity to save? Like APC, before that we had learned about consumption function and its types. Okay, so there are two types of consumption function. Okay student, see, so there we had learned about APC and MPC. So when you want to calculate APC, how you are going to calculate APC? C upon Y. It is the ratio between consumption expenditure and corresponding income. MPC is equal to what? MPC is equal to del C upon डेल्टा वाई, यानी कि marginal propensity to consume is related to increased income. Okay, it is the ratio between increased consumption to increased income. Okay, so MPS is related that if there is any increase our income, so how we are going to use it. Okay, so now in today video we are going to discuss about APS and MPS. Let me start. Average propensity to save. What do you mean by average propensity to save? So it is defined as the ratio of total saving to total income of the economy. Okay, so its meaning, its meaning are it's one line answer. What do you mean by APS? So it is its meaning. APS is the ratio of total saving to total income of the economy, and you can easily, students, you can easily learn it with the help of the equation. Okay, if you learn, if you keep in your mind this equation, you can easily able to write its meaning. What is its equation? APS is equal to S upon Y, yani it is ratio between saving and income. Okay, here is given one example. If suppose saving are 60 crore and income is rupees 100 crore, so what will be the value of APC? So we had learned now what is the equation for calculating APS? S upon Y. So saving is what? 60 crore and income is what? 100 crore. So when we divide 60 upon 100, what we get? We get 0.6. So this is the value of APS. So in this way you can calculate APS at any level of income. Okay, so what is the equation for calculating APS? Saving upon income. It is the ratio between saving to income. Okay, student, now let me understand it in more detail with the help of the table and diagram. Okay, so if we talk about this table, so it is based upon this assumption C is equal to 50 plus 0.5y. Okay, this time you are not able to understand this equation, but when I explain you about the C function and S function, and I will explain numerical question, then you are able to understand it. Okay, let me understand APS with the help of this table and with this diagram. Okay, student, let me start. So okay, if you recall I had not plain slide here. Okay, if we recall APC या फिर consumption function, when we recall the consumption function, so there are three stages. First is autonomous consumption. When our income is zero, whatever expenditure is done, that is known as a autonomous consumption. Okay, when C is equal to Y, yani our consumption is equal to national income, then it is known as a break even point. Before the break even point we find this saving. Okay, because our consumption is more than our income, so obviously we are going to borrow money, otherwise we are going to use our saving, so that point reflect this saving. Okay, then come break even point. After break even point our income become more in compared to consumption. Okay, and that area indicate saving. Okay, so keep this thing in your mind and you are able to understand this chapter. Okay, again and again the same thing is explained. Okay, now same thing we are going to explain with the point of saving. Okay, let me start. So here you can see कि when income is 50, so consumption is what? Consumption, sorry, when income is 0, consumption is 50. It's mean our saving is what? It is minus 50. Yani we are doing this saving. Whatever saving, this saving means whatever saving we are having, we are going to use it. So this is known as a dis saving. Okay, and what will be the value of APS? It will be infinite. How it is going to infinite? Because its equation is S upon Y. So when our income is 0, so we are going to write here 0, or saving is what? Minus 50. So what value we will get? we get infinite. Any number when it is divided by the 0, we get infinite. Okay, now next is, now income is what? 50, consumption is 75, saving is what? Minus 25. Okay, so now what will be the value of APS? It will be minus 0.5, because now we are going to divide saving. So saving is what? Minus 25. So we will write here minus 25 upon income is what? 50. So it will be what, student? It will be 0.5. When we divide, we get this value. Okay, now when our income is 100, our consumption is 100, that time saving is 0. So what will be the value of APS? So now APS, the equation is S upon Y. So how much income? Income is 100, saving is what? 0. So now what we get the value of APS? 0. Okay, now same way you are going to calculate APS for every level of income. So here when we divide 50 upon 200, we get 0.25. When we divide 100 upon 300, so we will get 0.33. When we divide 150 by 400, then we get 0.375. Okay, student. Now 200 is divided by 5, so we get 0.4. So these are the value of APS. So these are the value of APS, how we had get when we had divided this value by income. Why? Because equation is S upon Y. Yani we are going to divide minus 50 upon 0, minus 20 upon 50, 0 upon 100, 50 upon 200, 100 upon 300, 150 upon 400, 200 upon 500. So we are going to get these figure. Okay, student. Now with the help of this diagram, so if you talk about this diagram, so if we are going to measure APS at the point C, so what is the equation? S upon Y. What is the value at C points? We get income is what? 200, and our consumption is what? It is 50. So when we divide 50 upon 200, we get 0.25. So in this way you can measure at any point APS, the value of APS. Like suppose if I take the example of F point, so here income is what? Income is 500. If we talk about our consumption level, so it is 200. It is 200. Okay, student, it is what? It is 200. So when we divide 200 upon 500, so we get what? 0.4. Okay. Now its observation, what we find here? We find that APS at the income of 100 is 0. Yani we are talking about this. Yani at break even point, saving is equal to 0. Okay, now next is, as income increases, APS also increases as people tend to save a larger part of their income. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि initially it is 0.5, then 0, फिर 0.25, 0.3, 0.375, 0.4. So you can see कि as income increases, saving is also increases. So I already had told you कि there is positive relation between saving and income. So in one simple line I can write it कि it is related to at break even point where saving is equal to 0. Why saving is equal to 0? Because C is equal to Y. Our consumption is equal to income. Whatever income we are getting, we are expending it. Okay, now this point explain that S is the function of Y and there is positive relation. As income increases, saving also increases. You can see here. Okay, as income increases, saving also increases. Okay, now next is APS is measured at a point of time. For example, APS at point C. So it is saving is measured at a point of time. So it's mean it is what? It is stock. It is a stock variable. It is a stock variable. Okay student, so it is a what? It is a stock variable. Okay, so simply when question is asked, explain average propensity to save. So first point you are going to write about the meaning. So what is its meaning? So generally explain it with this equation. So APS is the ratio between saving and income. Okay, then you will write this equation in a box. APS is equal to S upon Y. After that you will explain it with the help of this diagram and table. Okay student, and these observations. So observation you can write in your own language. So you can write ki at the break even point saving is equal to 0 because consumption is equal to income. Okay, next thing we find, what we find, second observation is about that ki as our income increases, saving also increases. Third point, it is measured at a point of time. It's mean it is a stock variable. Okay, so first observation, at break even point saving is equal to 0. Second point, as income increases, saving also increases. Third point, APC APS is a stock variable. Why? Because it is measured at a point of time. Okay student, now next that diagram, yani if I talk about this diagram, so this diagram is based upon this table. Suppose you forget the table, so how you are going to attempt the question? So there is one more option, you can draw the diagram without table, yani without on the basis of any table. Okay, so like that, this diagram. So on the O axis we find income, on the Y axis there is saving. Okay, and whenever you draw the saving curve, it is always started in the third quadrant, yani ki negative area. It is going to start from the negative area of O axis. Okay, now here you can see ki this saving curve intersect this OY axis on S point. So it represent this saving. Okay, यानी यहाँ पे क्या है, जब जीरो लेवल ऑफ इनकम है तो भी हम एक्सपेंड कर रहे हैं, तो वो एक्सपेंडिचर किसके बेसिस पे हो रहा है, हमारी सेविंग के बेसिस पे हो रहा है. तो दैट इज़ वाई इट रिप्रेजेंट दिस सेविंग. ओके, एज इनकम इंक्रीजेज, okay, so our saving also increases, but till this point saving is negative. In this area represent negative saving, yani ki it represent this saving. So this area represent this saving. Okay, why it represent this saving? Because in this area C is greater than Y. So suppose you are earning 50 rupees but you are expending 100 rupees. Okay, so this is the condition. You are, okay, I had written it wrong, let it correct it. Okay, suppose you are earning 50 rupees but you are expending 100 rupees. So this is the condition of this saving. How you are going to arrange this 50 extra 50? So you are going to take money from any friend, yeah, any from your guardian. Okay, but you have to return it now, so that is why it is considered as a dis saving. Other, the second option is that ki if you are having any balance, so you are going to use it. So again this is what, this is dis saving. Okay, so in this diagram, okay, in this diagram this area represent what, this saving. Okay, now on this point our saving is what, 0, and this is the area of break even point. Why this is break even point? Because here S is equal to 0, it means C is equal to Y. Okay, now after this area represent what, this area represent saving. Okay, now we are going to understand APS. So here we are going to discuss about APS. APS means we are going to measure our saving at a point. Okay, now suppose I had taken on this saving curve this A point. So we are going to draw one line that is going to touch O axis. Then we are going to draw a horizontal line that is going to touch OY axis. In this way we are going to define, we are going to get the area of income and the area of saving. Okay, so the what is the equation of APS? S upon Y. So this area यानी कि y is equal to what? OY1. Okay student, and saving is equal to what? Saving is equal to this, yani saving is equal to OR. So we are going to put this amount on this equation, yani OR upon OY1. So this is represent APS. So you can use this diagram that is from Sandeep Garg. Okay, otherwise you can, if you comfortable, so you can use this diagram. So whatever you feel easy, you draw it and you prepare it for your board examination. Okay student, now let us understand what is the property or feature of APS. Okay, so let us start it. First of all, APS can be 0. Yes, if we talk about APC, so APS is just opposite of APC. APC can never be 0. It can never be 0. APC कभी भी 0 नहीं हो सकता है. Okay student? Sorry. So APC can never be 0. APC can never be 0. Okay student, कभी भी 0 नहीं हो सकता. On the other hand, APC can be 0. और ये 0 कब होता है? When APC is 0, when saving is equal to Y, यानी कि at break even point, saving APS is equal to 0. Now APS can never be equal to 1. Okay, कभी भी आप अपनी पूरी की पूरी इनकम सेव नहीं कर सकते हो. यू कैन नेवर सेव योर होल इनकम. वाई? बिकॉज यू हैव टू सर्वाइव. If you want to survive, so you have to do some expenditure. So there are minimum level of expenditure that you have to do if you want to survive on this earth. So because of that, there is always some level of consumption. So you can never save whole income. So that is why APS can never be equal to 1. Okay, so remember this, APS can never be equal to 1. Why? It is because saving can never be equal to income. Okay, now next is APS can never be more than 1. Obviously when it cannot be equal to 1, so how it can be greater than 1? On the other hand, if you talk about the APC, so APC can equal to 1 when at break even point. So at break even point, APC is what? Equal to 1. Okay, now if you talk about APS, so it can never be more than 1. Why? Because saving cannot be more than our income. Okay, कभी भी हम अपनी इनकम से ज़्यादा सेव कर ही नहीं सकते हैं. एक्सपेंडिचर हम कर सकते हैं बाई बोरोइंग और अदर वे, बट सेविंग इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल कि यू आर गोइंग टू डू more than your income. Okay student, next observation is what? APS rises with rise in income. It is because people tend to save more with the increase in income. It is a very genuine fact कि as your income increases, you save more. Like if you are earning only 10,000, so obviously you can maximum save 1 or 2 or 3,000 money. But if suppose your income is 1 lakh, so obviously you can save 60,000, 40,000. Okay, so obviously when there is more income, you can save more. Okay student, now let we understand marginal propensity to save. Okay, remember the term marginal is related to what? Marginal is related to extra. When something is given extra, So this is what marginal. So we are talking about saving. So marginal propensity to save, when you are given some extra amount, some extra money, yani economy gets some extra income. So what people are going to do with that extra income, that is known as a how much from the extra income, how much they are going to save. This is what, this is marginal propensity to save. So it is very easy to define it with the help of this equation. Okay, MPS is equal to del S upon del Y. Del means change in it, saving upon change in income. So what is its definition in language? So it is defined as the ratio of change in saving resulting from change in income ऑफ द इकोनॉमी. ओके, सो MPS रिलेट करता है कि अगर आपकी इनकम बढ़ रही है, आपकी इनकम इंक्रीज़ हो रही, तो आप उस इंक्रीज्ड इनकम का कितना प्रपोर्शन सेव करते हो. ये क्या कौन बताता है? ये बताता है MPS. इंक्रीज्ड इनकम का कितना पार्ट आप सेव कर रहे हो, दैट इज़ एक्सप्लेन्ड बाय MPS. ओके, मार्जिनल प्रोपेंसिटी टू सेव. सो इट इज़ द रेशियो बिटवीन चेंज इन इनकम टू चेंज, sorry, it is the ratio between change in saving to change in income. Okay, very simple language. If you forget, so simply learn this equation how you are going to write in language. MPS is the ratio between change to saving to change in income. So I think it is very easy for you. If this much you will write, at least you get the marks. Okay, now here is given one example. If saving increases from 40 crore to 80 crore, yani S is equal to 40, S1 is equal to 80 crore. Okay student, now income increases from 100 crore to 200 crore. So Y is equal to 100 crore and Y1 is equal to 200 crore. Okay, so now we are going to find out del Y and del S. Okay, so in your chapter elasticity of demand, we had learned about their del P, del Q. So whenever you find change is what? Present minus previous. Okay, so S1 minus S. So what is going to be equation? So del S is equal to S1 minus S, यानी कि 80 minus 40. So what we get? We get 40. Now here I am going to find out del Y. So del Y is equal to Y1 minus Y, यानी 200 minus 100. So we are going to get 100. Now we are going to put this value 40 upon 100. Okay, so we are going to get what? 0.4 यानी 40%. यानी people are saving 40% of their increased income. Suppose you are going to get 10 rupees extra, it's mean you are saving 4 rupees and 6 rupees you are expending. If you are going to get 1000, it's mean you are saving 400 and you are expending 600. Okay, so this is what, this is your MPS, marginal propensity to save. Okay, now its explanation with the help of the table. Okay student, so here you can see कि MPS is going to be constant 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Here we can see कि income increases from 50 to 100, then 200, then 300, then 4, then 500. Okay, saving is given minus 50, minus 25, 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Okay student, now we are going to calculate del S. So del S, first one we are not able to calculate. Second one, to minus 20, minus 50 minus, how we are going to calculate it? Minus 50 minus 25. Okay, so in this way we are going to get 25. Then 0 minus 25, then we get 25. फिर 50 minus 0, 50,
100 minus 50, 50, 150 minus 100, 50, 200 minus 150, 50. Same way we are going to find out del y. So how we are going to get 100 minus 50? Okay, so same way. Okay, now 200 minus 100, 100, then 3, yani present minus previous. So in this way you are going to calculate del y. Okay student, now we are going to put these two for getting the value of amperes, yani 25 upon 50. Okay, so we get 0.5, फिर 25 upon 50, then 50 upon 100, then 50 upon 100, then 50 upon 100, then 50 upon 100. So in this way we get the value of marginal propensity to save. Okay student, now we are going to understand it with the help of this diagram. Okay, here you can see कि MPS is measured at the point D. So when we draw one line that is going to touch O axis, and we are going to draw a horizontal line that is going to touch OY axis. So what is the value of income here? So here income is what? 300, and the previous income is what? 200. So it is y1, and this is what? This is y. So for getting del y we have to subtract y1 minus y, yani we are going to subtract 300 minus 200. So this value will be 100. Okay, now here if we talk about, so it is what? 100. Okay, so before that it is value is 50. Okay, it is based upon that table. So now we are going to put the value del s upon del y, to 50 upon 100 it is 0.5. Okay student, now what is the observation? MPS at the income of 100 is 0.5. It remains constant at all level of income. You find now कि MPS is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, okay, at every level of income. So that is written here. It remains constant at all level of income. It is measured from one point to another. For example, MPC point D with respect to point C. So when we want to calculate MPC on point D, so we have to connect with MP with the point C. Whatever income is there, what is saving is there, on the basis of that we are able to find out the value of del S and del Y, like here. Okay, now what are the property or feature of MPS? The first one is that ki MPS varies between 0 to 1. Why it varies 0 to 1? So next line is about that. MPS will be equal to 0 if entire additional income is consumed. Okay, suppose I had given you 100 rupees, and suppose your uncle will come and he will also give you 100 rupees. Okay, so in this way now in your pocket there is what? 200. So how much income has increased? First you are having 100, again you get 100. So in this way you are having 100, yani ki del y is equal to what? Del y is equal to 100. Now suppose if you are going to use 50 rupees, okay, yani you are going to consume 50 rupees, in this way your saving is what? Your saving is 50. Now suppose you are going to consume 100 rupees, तो what will be your saving? Saving will be 0. तो अगर आप पूरा का पूरा increased income expend कर देते हो तो saving क्या होगी? Saving आपकी 0 होगी. Okay, next is MPS will be equal to 1 if entire income is saved. Suppose that 100 income that is given by your uncle, if you are not going to consume it, so what? Your saving will be 100, yani you had saved all the increased income. Okay, MPS can never be greater than 1 because del S can never be greater than Y. Okay, so these are the feature or property that is related to MPS. Okay student, so MPS varies between 0 to 1. It is 0 when entire income is consumed, yani ki del Y is equal to del C that time the value of del S is equal to 0. Okay, now MPS will be equal if entire income is saved, यानी कि del Y is equal to del S, and in this case del C is equal to 0. Okay student, next MPS can never be greater than 1. Okay, now there is one more diagram. Okay, now suppose you forget any table, so if you keep your mind the basic thing, so you can draw the diagram, you can explain it, okay, very simply. So like if there is a question that explain marginal propensity to save with an with a diagram, so you can draw this diagram and how you are going to measure it. Okay, so MPS is related to movement from one point to another point. So we are moving from B to A. Okay, at B point, what is our income? Y1, and what is our saving? R. Okay, when we are moving to A point, so we will draw a vertical line that is going to touch O axis and a horizontal line that is going to touch OY axis. Okay student, so here we get the value of income. Now this is our previous income and this is our present income. Okay student, so del V del Y is equal to what? Y1 Y2, Y1 Y2. This is our del Y. Okay, now if we talk about the del S, so del S will be this area, yani ki PR. So we are going to put this value on this equation. MPS, how MPS is calculated? MPS is calculated by using this equation, that is del S upon del Y. So what is the value of del S? PR. And what is the value of del Y? This area represent del Y, Y1 Y2. Okay, so in this way we are able to get the quantity या figure of MPS. Okay student, so thank you for today. I know this chapter is not very easy. If you talk about the macroeconomics, the national income measurement and this unit, okay, it is very tough, but these are the base for your further and higher studies, and 12 marks is about to come from this unit and 10 marks from national income measurement, yani ki 22 marks is going to cover these 6 chapter. Okay student, so please work hard. You have to understand this chapter because 12 marks is going to come from this chapter, but this chapter matlab this unit. Okay, and if you are not able to understand this chapter, so you are not able to understand the next 2 chapter 8 and 9. So work hard. July is about to over, August is about to come, and no doubt your examination is going to be in March. Okay, so please student, be attentive, work hard. This time you have to work hard because you are not going to get support of your teacher as usually you are getting. Okay student, okay, I hoping you are working hard for getting good marks. Thank you.